So let's get into Housewives. Let's get into it. Housewives, season 15, uncensored, baby. Atlanta reunion. Let's get into it. Your girl took notes because just like the rest of the season, it was getting very much boring. Very much boring, very much grasping for straws, very much dry. It was looking like, when you go to somebody's house, you never ate their food before, and they made like dressing, and the dressing is very dry, it's very crumbly. It's like you could eat it if you throw like some gravy or some like cranberry sauce on it. If you dress it up, you put some, turkey on there, and you get some juice from the turkey and you put it on there so it can be a little moisture, so it's not so dry. That's what Housewives is giving. It was very boring this season, very dry. They say it's disastrous. I agree. It just wasn't giving what it was supposed to have gave. And I think the reunion so far was better than the whole season, in my opinion. Drop down in my comments and let me know if you agree. Sorry if I'm moving this around. I'm literally holding y'all up on my um I don't know what this is called. On my tripod. My son broke my tripod. I need to get another one. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. Um so we got our Real Housewives of Atlanta part 1. Apparently this is going to be 2 parts. That's how you know the season was terrible, because usually they have anywhere from 3 to 4 parts, and this was only 2 parts. So that's kind of how you know um the season was pretty shitty. So let's go ahead and get started. This was filmed July 27th, which to me is important because so much has happened since July. I mean, this is coming out September. So we had basically had a whole, what, five weeks of more episodes of drama before this aired. So that's something I said in one of my last reviews. I think they are filming these reunions way too soon. I would rather them film the reunion after the whole entire season has aired, okay? And give us a break. Give us a break, a 1 week break, and then come back um, with the reunion. I think they're filming them too early because the what's the word? The viewers like myself, we're still watching the show and the reunion's already been filmed. So it's kind of like, stuff is happening. People are tweeting. People are still doing interviews. I mean, Candy, she's so thirsty. She's dropping speak on it every single week talking about the show. And a lot of her speak on it, they have really contributed to a lot of the drama that happens on the show. But anyway, so yeah, they filmed this July 27th. I watch my Housewives on Peacock. I do not have the live version of Peacock, so I have to wait till Monday morning to watch it. And I was very happy when I watched it yesterday and it was uncensored. I think all the reunions, of course, if it's going to be shown on like regular cable TV, it has to be censored. But I think I'm really happy that they put it on Peacock, excuse me, uncensored, so we can really get into the tea, honey. We can really hear what the girls is really saying. And Candy, she was cussing. I don't know. I feel like when you watch it uncensored, you really it's like different. It's just like when we watch the, what is that show? Vanderpump Rules. Don't really like it, but I did watch the reunion and I kind of know the drama that happened with that. But when you watch it uncensored, it definitely gives a different vibe. So I hope they always do that. Uncensored, uncensored. I wish they could put up the old seasons and put it up uncensored because I really enjoyed it. I even think they should put the episodes up uncensored on Peacock though. On the other, like Hulu, it could be whatever. It could be edited, whatever. But I think on Peacock they should definitely continue to put it up uncensored because, like I said, it definitely gives totally different, uh what's the word? Like shock. Like, ooh, did she just say that? Ooh, 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 ooh. That's what I was doing when I was watching it. So let's get into this. The set was really nice. It was supposed to look like Portugal. I did not see Portugal. I just saw, I don't know, it was given like Arabian Nights. And then they had a Buddha in the background. I don't know. It wasn't given Portugal. I think the Portugal trip was just terrible anyway. But it was okay. It wasn't as pretty as like Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine to me has always had the best reunion sets. Just gorgeous, just over the top. Um, but it was nice. It was okay. It was simple. I like that they had a little sound bath with the pillows in the front. I thought that was cool. But I don't know. The set could have been more over the top, more glamorous. Because the girls, I would have to say, this is probably one of the most glamorous looks that we've seen since like the season where Portia and Kenya damn near had the same dress on, the bedroom. What is it? The Candy Basement season reunion where they all had on the black and it was all kind of like super sexy. I think this was probably one of the more glamorous looking, like everybody was bedazzled pretty much. All the girls looked pretty nice. Kenya looked the worst. Kenya looked the worst. I was so pissed off with Kenya. I hated the hair. I hated how her lips were lined. It looked like she got lip injections, but I couldn't tell if it was overlining or if it was lip injections. She looked at a mess. I hated it. The hair was a mess. I think her hair would have looked beautiful. Black pulled up ponytail. Like I wish she had Sheree's hair, but just black. Sheree's hair was cute to me. Simple. But that wig, it was like a half wig with her natural hair pulled over it. I hated it. Marlo looked the best to me. Marlo looked fucking great. I know she said she's getting the shots, aka Ozempic, but she looked fantastic to me. I didn't even care that Kenya read her talking about she was dressed like Mrs. Roper. I thought that was funny. But Marlo looked great to me. Everything, hair, makeup, dress. The dress was fantastic. I loved the dress. I loved it. I loved it. Candy looked cute. It was short. It was sparkly. Her bob was bobbing, stiff wear. She looked good. Sonya, she looked pretty, I guess. It wasn't much to her dress, but I guess we're giving her a pass because she's with child. Drew, she was okay. She just, I don't know. I don't like to talk about people's weight because I'm a big girl myself and I could lose some weight. I mean, I got double chin, I got grandma arms, but I don't know. I didn't like Drew's look. I didn't like her hair. Her makeup looked pretty. Her hair was okay, but I felt like it was very long and it was like, sometimes when we get them long hairdos and we pull it like what I'm doing right now, we're trying to cover up something. I felt like her top was ill fitting. Her boobs was spilling over in the side. They was spilling over in the front. The top did not fit. Um, oh, child. I just wasn't feeling Drew's look at all. I didn't like it. She didn't look bad. She just didn't look great to me. Sheree, she looked pretty. It was very simple. She said her shoes was $39. Uh, it's nothing wrong with $39. I'm a broke one, so for her to wear $39 and she looked like as good as she did, I didn't have a problem with it. They did bring out Monietta and Courtney, cousin Courtney, towards the middle of the episode. Monietta in her picture, she looked the fucking mess, but when she was sitting there with her legs crossed, it didn't look bad, because you couldn't see the wrinkles and stuff in her pants. She looked decent. She looked decent. She said it was custom. Givenchy, I think that's what she said. I don't know what was custom about that. Like, was the top part of another dress and they cut that off? I don't know. I don't know nothing about couture gowns and stuff. But I always felt like if you have designer and you cut it up, it's no longer that designer. So is that what she did? Did she cut the top part that she was wearing off of a gown and put pants on? I don't know. She looked good sitting. Courtney should look like she didn't look bad either. She looked pretty. I liked her outfit, her dress. Her dress was giving like figurine skating. Um, like it was supposed to be part of like some sort of figurine skating outfit. Um, and they just added like instead of cutting it at the waist and putting like a leotard, they just finished it and made it a gown. But she looked pretty. That's no shade. She looked pretty to me. She had one piece of bang that was bothering me, but she looked pretty. I didn't, she was fine. Um so then they get into Sheree. Andy's being his normal messy self, and he tells Sheree, "Oh, you look refreshed." And everybody is giggling and snickering and laughing because they know he's really talking about, "Girl, what kind of work have you had done?" She gets up there and lies. Sheree's lying, talking about she had issues breathing and she had to get that fixed and she had to tweak her nose. Why is it whenever the girls get nose work done, it's always, "Oh, I had issue breathing"? That was the same thing Kyle said on their reunion where she got her nose job and she was like, "Oh, I had issues breathing." That was the same thing old girl from New Jersey said, "Oh, I had issues breathing." They always use that same excuse, issues breathing. And so since they were fixing my breathing issue, they tweaked my nose. It's just like, girl, come on. Anyway, I wish she would have just said, "I had a big ass long ass nose and I wanted something different, so I got my nose done." To me, that's more player. Yeah, I got my nose done and it looks fabulous. I look good. I look younger, and what? But when you get up there and you start lying, "Oh, I had breathing issues. Like, I just told them, since I have breathing issues, I just want to go ahead and check." No, you wanted your nose done and you got your nose done. It's that simple. That's why Marlo, and you know what? Let me go ahead and say this. To me, nobody won this reunion. I think Marlo, to me, was, even though she didn't really talk that much, I enjoyed her, and I enjoyed Andy. All the other girls, it was a lot of lying. It was a lot of lackluster reads. They just weren't giving. But yeah, she had her nose tweaked. Drew and Ralph is living in the same house. Duh. Don't they tell you when you get a divorce not to leave the marital home? Like, isn't that what they say? Hold on, I want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay, I am. I'm still recording. And I'm sorry y'all moving because I'm holding this damn thing and this shit is heavy. Um, so then they get into She by Sheree, her whole story this season. She gave nothing this season. They talked about Bob's daughter. She's being shady. She's talking about, well, there was no blood test. So, I don't know. Girl, that's Bob's daughter. And you're trying to play in everybody's face and make it seem like you ain't know and he sprung this on you. I don't believe that this was sprung on her. I believe that she knew because you were married to him. This is a child he had before you were married. And just like most women, we don't care about the previous children because now I'm with him and now I got children with him. So I don't care about that. That's what I think is really what it was. I find it hard to believe that Sheree had no idea, but the children knew about his daughter, but Sheree had no idea. And I didn't like her little snarky comment talk about, well, there's no blood test. I'm surprised nobody called her out on that. Because when the episode premiered, even Candy was like, well, she kind of looks like him. Like, she does look like Bob. But anyway, then she's talking about, well, the kids didn't tell me because they know I don't give a F. And, Sheree's doing her Sheree snarky, comments, her shady comments. That's what she does. Um, they talk about the speak on it, how Candy was referring, saying that Sheree looked like Drew. She got Drew's face, and Sheree again, once again being shady. Oh, that was my worst pick. That was my worst picture. I would be insulted if I was Drew. That was my worst pick. That was shade to Drew to try and make it seem like Drew is ugly or Drew's not cute. Drew is pretty. We all know all the women are gorgeous women. They're all beautiful women. So that was just shade, and I'm surprised Drew. If I were Drew, I would have went in on her. Drew took that too lightly. I would have went in on her because you really tried it. Only person who picked up on that was Andy, and he laughed. He laughed. Y'all gotta watch Andy. Andy is very messy, honey, but he laughed. So then we move on to Kenya in this divorce that is just taking forever. And Kenya's like, oh, what did she say? I'm subpoenaing, giving you a subpoena to Marlo because you kicked the door and now he's trying to hold me in contempt. Girl, what is going on with this divorce? The divorce was not really discussed this season. Why is it taking so long? What is going on with your lawyers? Why hasn't this been wrapped up? You've been going through the divorce longer than you've been married to him. This divorce has been longer than freaking the baby's been alive. Baby meaning Brooklyn. Why is this taking so long, Kenya? And I love me some Kenya Sunma Moore. She's my favorite housewife on this franchise. I'm my favorite housewife overall. On this franchise, she's my favorite. So her, going through this with Mark, to me, I'm just over it. And I just feel like, girl, let's wrap this up. Do we need new lawyers? Because it doesn't make sense why this divorce is taking so long. But anyway, she gives Saray a blank subpoena that Andy called her out on, but whatever. Back to Sheree. Sheree don't pay bills. Andy was being messy, talking about she has a funny relationship with paying bills. That was funny to me. So then Candy and Sheree, they get into it. Because Sheree, she's definitely feeling a way about Candy talking about her. Now, I haven't watched all of the Speak On It, but has Candy really talked about Sheree like that much on the show? Because Sheree had a lot of heat for Candy. And both of their reads fell flat. It was a lot of humming going on. Candy was trying to go after Sheree, and she was talking about squats, not shots, bots, shots, squats, bots. She couldn't get it out. And Sheree was trying to say stuff. She couldn't get it out. Their reads were just womp, 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 falling flat. It just was not, they didn't practice long enough. Sheree said Candy had her body done 4 times. I find that hard to believe because if I had my body done 4 times, my body would be sickening. Not to say Candy's body is not sickening. Okay? But if I had my body done 4 times, we just gonna leave it at that. Sheree said, big face, little face. I didn't get that. And then Sheree was being messy. She's talking about what was she talking about? Get her paper up, or was that later on? I forgot. Then she passed out her she news. I thought that was funny. It wasn't shady though to me. It wasn't shady enough. I thought it was funny. Sheree, if you're looking to make some money, I think for next season, if you're cast or even if you're not casted, I think you need to do a she news. I think you need to get on YouTube and do a weekly she news. And I think you need to have a blog. I know people don't really go on blogs anymore, but I would 100% subscribe to she news if it were a blog. And if I could get that mailed to me on a weekly basis, I would do it. And I would do a review of your she news every week. This is coming from somebody who, when I was in college, my major was journalism. So I love the idea of she news. You need to go ahead and copyright that idea, because if you don't, Somebody will. I would just leave it at that. But I thought that was very cute. The She News. I love the idea. Seriously, Sheree. I know you probably will never watch this video, but I think you should definitely get on that for real. Because I think that's a brilliant idea. And since you don't like Candy Speak on It, you can do a She News every week, debunking whatever Candy says on Speak on It. Or you could get on there and lie. You could do that too. So I think the She News, I think that's iconic. You need to get up there to the Breakfast Club since they're doing guest spots, every other day. You needed to be up there at the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and DJ Envy doing the She News, talking about the gossip. I'm telling you, Sheree, one thing about it, the girl comes up with good names and good ideas. However, it's an execution. And that is what's killing me. But anywho, um, Kenya said, "Oh, am I on the cover of it? Oh, am I on the cover?" And Sheree, once again, being shady, she by Shady, or Shady by She. That's what we need to call her, Shady by She. Shady Sheree. She gets up there. Oh, I can find a great pic of you. You couldn't find a great pic of Kenya D. Summer Moore? Girl, you tried it. There are thousands of great pics. Well, let me not drag. There are hundreds of great pics of Kenya. Kenya is a beautiful woman, honey. And you talk about you couldn't find a great pic. They should try to clean it up when Andy peeped her shade. I'm telling you, Andy catches it. She tried to clean it up when Andy called her, talk about what? You can't find a great pic? Like, oh no. I mean, there was just so many. Okay, Sheree. I see what you're doing here. It's not getting past me, baby. So then Andy asks her about She by Sheree the business, because we all know that was a fail. And she says, "Oh, it takes 3 to 4 years to turn a profit." That's what he asked her. "Oh, have you turned a profit?" She basically said no, she has not turned a profit. Now, she could turn a profit if she got those fashions up on that website, because I want a She by Sheree hoodie. I'm willing to spend up to $75 on a hoodie or a t-shirt, preferably a hoodie. Because I would love to be walking around in a She by Sheree hoodie. That's a good statement maker. But she can't get it together. I don't know why Sheree can't get this worked out. Like, you have the access, people. You are on Bravo. You are on one of Bravo's top shows. You should be able to have somebody help you get this up and running, but she can't do it. So then we move on to Drew. And we talk about Drew and what her storyline was this season. Her storyline was her and Ralph and her music career. You already know. You will never knew me. Someone never knew me. You already know. The song's not bad. The song's cute. Am I listening to it? No, because I listen to Summer Walker. But the song's not bad. It's not bad at all. So they talk about her shooting her video. Then they talk about, of course, the past, which I watched, which I give it a C. She was in the past, and of course they talk about that, and the girls are being shady on the other couch. Sheree talk about, do they pay top tier? And then she says, "Oh, I heard they paid $10K for the role." So Marlo, thank you, Marlo. She turned it up. She said, "Did you guys pay? You guys paid $10K for that role?" And Candy's like, "Well, we paid her more than $10K." So that's one thing about Marlo. She don't have a problem asking the questions to get into it, baby. She's gonna get to it. So she asked that question. We don't know how much she got paid, but according to Drew, she got paid under what she usually accepts because she's in a union. I'm gonna have to look into that, because with this whole SAG, um, what are they protesting and all of that, I need to get more into that and figure out a little bit more. I understand it's about residuals and all of that. That's something that I want to learn about. But yeah, apparently Drew got paid under what she's supposed to take for her union. I don't know. But yeah, Sheree was being messy, and Marlo, she asked, So then they kept talking about gaslighting, like Ralph. That's what Marlo was saying about Candy, because Candy and Drew had a little moment about the show, about the movie. She's like gaslighting, like Ralph. I'm surprised nobody picked up on that. That's what she said under her breath. And that was in reference to Candy, because Candy and Drew was going back and forth about the show, and going back, not the show, the movie, and going back and forth about this whole Latoya kissing story. I don't care about that. That was like 2 seasons ago. I don't care about it. If Latoya's not on the show, I don't care. And this is coming from somebody who used to watch Latoya Life YouTube way back in the day when she was living in Toronto with in her grandparents' house. See, I'm an OG YouTube watcher. I used to watch Latoya's Life back in the day before she even got pregnant with Samia. So I know about Latoya. I know how she gets down. I'm disappointed they didn't keep her on, because she would have brought the drama. But anyway, um, they keep going about this Latoya kissing story. I don't care. Nobody cares. Latoya's not on the show, so it doesn't matter. Sonya was jumping in. She wasn't even part of the show during that time, and she was jumping in on that story. Go back and watch it. You'll see her jumping in. Talking about Latoya keeps changing her story. Latoya keeps changing her story. She's changing her story. Latoya changed her story. Sonya, you weren't there, sis. You should be doing the mute challenge. You weren't there. So, excuse me, it doesn't matter how you feel, you weren't there. Um, Marlo said she saw 80% of the kids. She said she saw them this close, but she didn't actually see the kids. Candy was upset. Candy's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus too. And one thing we don't like is we don't like to be lied on. Um, we don't want nobody trying to make us look like liars either. So I think Candy was more so like upset that she said this and she don't have the hard proof to show that like it happened. So I think that's kind of where we're at with that. Okay, just check and make sure I'm still filming. Um and then Candy, to me, Candy is the one who really lost this reunion part 1, cuz she gets up there and she says when her and Drew are going back and forth and they're supposed to be friends. She says, "Oh, you're gas. I can see how you and Ralph get into it, something to that effect, because I can see you gaslighting Ralph." Girl, what? We're supposed to be friends, and you know the BS that I'm going through with this man. And now you wanna sit up here on a public stage at the reunion in front of everybody and say that I'm gaslighting Ralph. What kind of friend is that? I didn't like that. She was dead wrong for that. And Drew, she kind of let it slide, and I think she let it slide because Candy gave her that job, just like somebody else in the video said. They said Candy gives people jobs and opportunities so she can later throw it in her face, and I'm getting that vibe. If they let those ladies come back next season, I feel like that is something that Candy is going to throw in Drew's face. I gave you an opportunity. I've paid you. Me and my husband, we paid you. We put you in a starring role in our movie. I think that's what's coming if they let these ladies come back next season. Um, so they're going back and forth. They're going back and forth. Andy's trying to wrangle the girls in, and he's like, "Drew, how is your song doing?" Drew, everybody hears that clear as day. Drew says, I mean, are we good, Candy? Girl, no, we're not good. We just went back and forth. I just called you a lying ass hoe. We just went back and forth. No, we're not good. And I feel like she did that because she didn't want to answer that question about how her video was doing. Maybe I'm gonna clip in a clip of where Drew's video is doing right now. He asked about the song. Drew did not respond to that at all. After she, "Are we good?" to Candy, then she says, "Oh, the video's doing great. It's on BET. I got 100K in the first day or whatever." But that's it. So we're gonna check to see. I'm gonna insert a clip of how Drew's song, where it's at, and how many views the video got. So I'm gonna insert that into this video. Um, he asked about the divorce. Are you going to be able to talk about the divorce? Because you weren't able to talk about it when we were filming the season, wrapping up the season. Are you going to be able to talk about it? She's like, "Oh, I don't know. I really don't want to talk about it. Like, we're in the process." Marlo, again, being shady, talking under, talking low, sneaking it in. She's like, "Just tell the truth." That's what Marlo said. Just tell the truth. Um, and then Drew's talking about, "I'm still married to him and my kids can see this. And I'm still believing the secrecy." That's what she said. Not sanctity. Is it sanctity? She said secrecy of marriage. I don't know about no secrecy of marriage. I think she used the wrong word. I think she meant the sanctity of marriage. She definitely said secrecy. Go back and listen. Um, Me personally, I feel like he dragged you. He's still dragging you. He's trying to put you and your children out on the street. It wouldn't be no secrecy or sanctity. You want a divorce. I want a divorce. Let's go. I'm finna air you out because you've been airing me out to your fake cousin-in-law. So because you want to air me out, and if I wasn't on this show, there would be no Ralph Pittman that people would know. So because you want to drag me, guess what? I'm gonna drag you. So I don't get that whole thing where women, and not just Drew, just women in general, we always want to protect the men that do us wrong, when we need to just go ahead and just put the Yelp reviews out there. Like Erica De Niro, I love Erica De Niro. Go ahead and put them Yelp reviews out there. Let's hear it, because I know Ralph. It's Ralph is a dirty dog, and I know that Ralph has been doing some dirt, because the way that he talked to her on this show, it couldn't have been me. Ralph is the type of man that he will play in your face and play with you and have you to the point where you're like, "Are you serious?" You will want to reach across the table and lose it. How Erica flipped that table on Spice. Ralph, that's the type of reaction Ralph would be getting from me, because he will try and play with you like you're dumb, like you're slow. So her trying to protect the marriage when you guys are going through a divorce, to me, that's just insane. Protect it for what? We're getting a divorce. You've been cheating. You've been hanging out in Vegas. You've been having the ladies rub oil on you. You've been flirting. You've been very disrespectful to me. You don't want to go to counseling. You don't want to participate in the parenting of our children. So nah, it ain't no secrecy in this marriage. We finna go ahead and air it out, because you already wanted to air me out to your cousin. So now it's my turn. So I don't know. I will never be like that. Somebody do me wrong like that, I don't know, especially in the public. You want to embarrass me in public? That's a whole nother thing. So I didn't get that at all with her trying to protect it. But whatever, Drew. What happened next? Let me see. Oh, the girls, I guess they took a little break. They're coming back, and Sheree, she slid that in just like Marlo. You gotta watch them too, because they say a lot of shady, nasty stuff on the low that people are not catching. Sheree says broke, jealous, petty girls gotta get their money up. Who's broke on that side of the couch? Who's jealous on that side of the couch? Well, they all petty. So we could say everybody on both couches is petty. And who got to get their money up on that side of the couch? Are you referring to Drew? Because we know Candy got coin. We know she got coin. We know Kenya got coin. Drew, I don't know. It might be debatable. Drew got more money than me. But considering who's on the show, Drew may not have as much money as the other ladies, but who was Sheree referring to when she said broke, jealous, petty girls? I wrote this down verbatim. Gotta get their money up. And she said that to Marlo, and they both were snickering. Broke, jealous girl, gotta get their money up. Oh, I dropped my pen. So who was she referring to? That's what I want to know. See, and that's the type of stuff that I be talking about. That they just be letting it slide and they don't catch it. I don't know why that wasn't caught. Um and they say it quietly. They don't say it loud. From what I understood, it was you, Sheree, is the broke, jealous of Candy and Kenya, petty towards Drew, towards Moneta. You know, what you said was really about yourself. But anywho, we still talking about so then they bring out Moneta and Courtney. I already talked about their looks earlier. There was just a lot of just stuff that wasn't important to me. Courtney and Ralph is cousins through marriage. Very weak connection, just like Andy said. It was very weak. I was just like, okay, girl. Yo, uncle, auntie, I don't know. It just sounded like some stuff that Todd came up with to come to us with the BS. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, it was very weak. Drew threw a plum across the stage. It landed on Marlo's dress. Marlo was like, girl, don't throw nothing over here on my gown. Marlo was not having it. And I don't blame her because, like I said, Marlo looked the best to me. And you throwing over a plum over here, girl, them things is kind of soft. And if they got enough force, they will splitter and splatter all over the place. So, yeah, don't be throwing nothing over here. So, I agreed with her on that. And then Andy took the bite of the plum. I thought that was funny. Courtney is a fan. Courtney's like, oh, props. We're here with props again. That's a fan. She's a fan. Then they get into Marlo's story, which was really nothing. Marlo is going through, I don't know, life coaching with her nephews. I think that's great, but I think she needs counseling. And those boys need counseling because they don't have their parents. So they need to be seeing counseling. I think they do. I'm not sure. But it was very, whatever. Marlo and her friend, boy, whatever. She said that, oh yeah, I had sex with that man. I don't believe that at all, but okay. Uh, and if they had sex, I mean, I don't think it was like, never mind. I'm not going to say what I was thinking. Um, then she talks about her getting her stuff expunged and Courtney's supposed to be helping her, and then she says, yeah, Phaedra's helping me too. And then they pan over to Candy and Candy rolls her eyes. I don't know why Candy still has so much venom for Phaedra when she's forgave everybody. Like, girl, get over it, because you forgave Portia, so you should go ahead and forgive Phaedra. And I know she did that whole, I don't owe her any effing thing. I know she gave that whole speech, but girl, let it go. Let it go. Because it seemed like you forgave Portia almost immediately. But we're not going to dig up the past. We're going to move forward. Then they ask about this whole Roy dating Marlo, and Kenya was like, oh, that wasn't a date because Marlo dates usually end with money in the dresser. The read fell flat. Not Candy. Then Andy gets into Kenya's behind talking about, well, why didn't he film, during the season? Kenya's umming it on, which she never does. So that's how I knew she was lying, talking about, oh, it was the super teaser. The super teaser came out in the middle of the dang on show. The super teaser came out after the show was filmed. Not in the middle. It came out after the show was filmed. So Andy is right. The super teaser came out after we wrapped. Why wasn't he filming with you if you guys are dating? And she's saying it's a super teaser. It just went over her head. I don't know why she couldn't answer that question. The answer should have been he didn't film because we're dating. We're not in a serious relationship. I'm seeing him, I'm seeing other people. We're dating and we're enjoying each other's company. It's not anything serious. Um so there's no need for him to be filming on the show. He's not my husband, he's not my boyfriend. He is someone that I am dating right now. We are casually dating. That's what she should have said instead of, oh, it was a super teaser. Girl, it wasn't the super teaser. We know it wasn't the super teaser, and you just look stupid sitting up there lying and trying to make it about the super teaser. Anyway, um, they talk about Sheree being the bone collector. They talk about Drew's $1,000 lawsuit. Girl, I could have paid for your $1,000 lawsuit with one of my credit cards. Like, just pay it to make it go away. But anyway, we're not gonna dig that up either. Um, Marlo talks about all the women, how they're dressed. She was dead on about everybody's look, except for Courtney's. I didn't. It's not that I didn't like Courtney's look. It just looked like a skater outfit. Like it was supposed to be for someone who's skating in an ice rink doing a performance. But it didn't look bad. I wasn't. It wasn't my favorite. To me, like I said, Marlo looked the best. She did. I'm sorry. Um. Sonya again jumping in because they talking about Courtney saying, "Oh, Candy brings everybody, brings the ghetto out. She brings the hood out." That was a little shady. And Sonya, she uses as an opportunity to jump in, talking about she didn't call Candy ghetto. She didn't call her ghetto. She didn't call Candy ghetto. Sonya, shut up. Please don't bring Sonya back next year. Please. Please don't bring her back next year. They talk about the slamming of the door when Marlo slammed the door on Moneta and Moneta called them hyenas. It's just boring. Boring, 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 lame, lame, lame. Um, the girls just, this is my thing. And I hate to say if Nene or if Portia, but let's say it was Nene walking behind Marlo and Marlo did that little slamming in the door. Nene would have went off. If she would have did that on Portia, Portia would have went off. And this is why I don't think Moneta is a good fit. Although I love her dearly, I don't think she's a good fit for the show because you're too passive about it. We don't need any passive. Even Cynthia, I don't even think Cynthia would have allowed that because when Portia stood over Cynthia, Cynthia kicked that girl. So I just feel like she's just not a good fit for the show. She can continue to come on if they bring this group of ladies back. She can continue to come on and be a friend and join for some trips and some events. But as far as her having like, what do you call those, interviews or whatever, confessionals? No, she don't need to have no confessionals. No, we don't need to focus on her. She's not giving. Courtney came in hot, like Andy said. She was coming in hot. She was jumping. She's definitely trying to get a peach. I don't think she deserves one because she's a fan, but she's definitely trying to get a peach. Because she was jumping on everything. They talked about the whole karma comment that she made on Kenya's Fall. Talking about, I believe karma is a reaction to, an action or whatever. And I feel like she deserved it or whatever. She said that because she's a fan and she's watched Kenya be the number one big boss villain for seasons after seasons after seasons after seasons. And that's why Courtney said that. And that's what she should have said. She should have said, well, I've seen your behavior on past seasons, and I know that you have been a villain and been nasty to almost all these girls up here. And I feel like, hey, this is karma getting your ass back for all the dirt that you've done in the past. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Let's just get to the meat and potatoes. That's why the show is not good anymore, because the girls are just tiptoeing around it. Let's just get straight to it, honey. I said, yeah, karma. Yeah. I felt like it was karma because I don't like you. But no, she want to tiptoe around it and girl, just get to the meat and potatoes. Okay. Then we started to get into the whole Courtney, Ralph, and Drew thing. They didn't dive deep into it. I believe it's going to be in the final part next week or this week on Sunday. Drew's basically they asking her about Ty, and Manyetta's talking about, well, yeah, I heard about Ty and I contacted. Hold on. Okay, sorry. She says, Manetta says, well, yeah, I asked Drew about Ty and she explained it to me. And Andy's like, okay, what did you say, Drew? Because once again, we are doing this tiptoe around it. What you should have said, Manetta, is I called Drew and she told me that her and Ty, they are friends. They met on set. They like each other. You know, they have the same interests. And they were just being friends on set. Instead of just like, oh, she explained it to me and I understood. Girl, what? Again, this is not the time to be tiptoeing around stuff. Let's get to it, baby. What did she say, Manetta? This is why you're not going to get a peach. And you have so much potential. But when you start playing this game, acting like you don't know the ABCs of reality TV, baby, you don't need to be here. So anyway, Drew says, oh, we're just friends. We were joking on set and that's it. And then Courtney jumps in and she says her little snarky comment. And then we end with Drew checking Courtney about the whole hot mic, adopt this kid so I can be with my lesbian lover statement. And then we just end there. Oh, Courtney said, well, so what? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So that's where we ended at. Overall, I think that the reunion was better than the season. Was it the best reunion? No. Were there any really good reads? No. I was kind of disappointed in my girl Kenya. She wasn't giving what I know her to give. Candy was not giving either. Sheree, she definitely beat Candy in that little back and forth moment, but they both were hemming and hawing and can't get it out and couldn't get it out, and it was just a mess. Andy was the shadiest of them all. Marlo and Sheree were definitely sneaking in little remarks that nobody was catching. I'm assuming they just couldn't hear them, but nobody was catching it because they were saying it like whispering it to each other. So it was just kind of going under the radar. So yeah, I'll be back for Sunday part 2. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I have a feeling that it's gonna be a lot of, oh, my lawyer said I can't answer that. Oh, my lawyer said don't speak about that. Oh, can I speak about this? My lawyer said no. I feel like it's gonna be a lot of that, and I think it's gonna be a lot of Ralph trying to paint a picture that Drew is sleeping with Ty. Do I think something's going on with Ty? I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't know. I believe it, but I also don't know. I really don't. I think what made me kind of believe it is the fact that Mimi came out and kind of said that it was something going on. But I could have swore recently I saw a picture of Ty and Mimi together. So I just don't know. I don't know. So we'll have to wait to see what happens next week. But overall, this reunion was okay. Like I said, it's better. It was better than the whole dang on season that we watched. I'm interested to see what the next cast is gonna be. Can they afford Portia? I don't know if they can afford Portia because Portia want a big bag to come back on this show. And if they feel that she's necessary, they're going to have to pay her that money, because she got a story that I want to hear. I want to see her in this man. I want to see it. I want to see her in this man, and I want to see her and her baby daddy. I didn't know that her baby daddy, what's his name? Daniel, Derek, Damon, whatever his name is. I didn't know he was from Detroit. And so that changes things for me. So, should they bring Portia back? Yes, they should. I think Phaedra should have been brought back too. Because if you don't want to film because Phaedra's on here, then don't film. That's up to you. The ball's in your court. You don't want to come back because Phaedra's here, you don't have to. But Candy's about her money. And I'm pretty sure she's not going to let go of the Real Housewives of Atlanta bag because of Phaedra. I know they say that she has threatened that she won't come back, but she gonna come back because this is how she promotes all her other businesses. So anyway, we'll be back for Sunday part 2, the final of this season. Yeah, if you like this video, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel. I promise I'm going to get better with the reviews. I know I'll review one episode and don't review another one for 2-3 weeks. I'm going to get better. I'm just starting out on YouTube, so I would really appreciate it if you leave a comment. Who do you think was best dressed this season? Not this season, this episode. What were your highlights? And my number one question: do you think Drew has been having some sort of intimate relationship with Ty? And if you do, why? Drop down in the comments and tell me why. But yeah, like, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye.